Hey Computer, play About Bees podcast.
Welcome, everybody. We're back again with About Bees, Culture and Curiosity, our podcast about bees, culture, and curiosity. This is Ron Miksha, and I'm here with
Bidzina Mosiashvili.
Bidzina. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Today's a good day.
You like the heat? We're having lots of heat here in Calgary.
You know, I'm actually lucky enough to stay away from it.
Oh,
But yeah, I'm doing the lizard thing. I'm not coming outside.
so you're under a rock somewhere.
Pretty much, yeah.
What kind of rock do you prefer?
It's shade. I like nice shade area, and it has to be constant airflow.
Constant airflow under the rock.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you do your lizard thing for a little bit longer. I think next week we're in for some more mild kinds of temperatures. But right now, for people who don't know, Calgary tends to be a really cold place most of the year. Our spring starts late and our winter starts early. But summers can get warm, and this particular year, we've had one of the longest hot spells that we've had in Calgary and even up in Edmonton. So Alberta is heating up and actually drying out. We haven't had rain in probably 2 or 3 weeks now. So the kind of temperatures we're getting today is predicted to be in the mid-30s, maybe 33, 34, even 35 Celsius, which is about 95 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's pretty warm for us in this part of the world.
Yeah, that's that's very unusual. And worldwide, I think everywhere is experiencing a heat wave right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's really bad.
This world's on fire.
It is on fire, as Adele would say it.
Adele?
Yeah, this girl is on fire.
Oh, I don't remember that song from Adele. I do remember her first big hit, though. That was great. That was fantastic. So we're talking about heat and Calgary. And one place that always seems to have enough heat is Africa. And we have a special guest here today, our friend and our visitor and our fellow podcaster for today is Patrick Tefuetonlio. That doesn't sound right. Patrick Tefuetonlio. No, let's have Patrick. Patrick, you're laughing at me, and I don't blame you. Patrick is from Cameroon. He's kept bees in Cameroon for a bit, but he's also very active with the bee club and beekeeping here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And Patrick, welcome, and please do correct me on your last name.
Okay, thank you, Ron, for the opportunity that you gave me to attend your postcard. Okay, my name is Patrick Tefuetonlio.
Tefuetonlio?
Tefuetonlio.
Tonliu.
Yes.
I shouldn't even be trying. I can't even say Bidzina's name correctly.
Yeah, that's what I was. We found someone harder than my name.
You know, the problem is just the French. Like you guys, you are reading my name in English. That's the problem.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So does your name have those accents? Things?
No, the accent is just to say bees, my bees. You know, Patrick Tefuetonlio. These are my name.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And French, you mentioned the language of French.
This Tefuetonlio, it is in French, but in language is Tefuet. Tefuet, which means the power of nature.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and Tefuetonlio means Tonlio, son of Tefuet. Tefuet is my father's name.
Oh.
And Tonlio is my name.
I got it.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, Bidzina, your name is similar in the sense that it's like a child of or from the family of kind of thing on your name.
Yeah, I think that was a common thing just done around the world.
Uh-huh.
And I think people, when they came to North America, they just started taking it off.
Yeah.
They would instead of Alan's son, or they're just Alan.
Okay.
Or Phil, or yeah.
And I think I follow too, because my kid now, they have their name. I gave them first their name, and then my name follow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're from Cameroon,
I'm
correct?
from Cameroon, yes, in Central Africa.
You're wearing, is this traditional Cameroon garb you got going on?
Yes, this is a Cameroonian attire. Yes,
Nice.
you have
Do you mind
hat.
describing a little? Yeah, sorry.
Okay, you have the hat. I'm going to say this hat that I'm wearing, you have to wear this hat when you did most of, you have been passing through some ceremony, like you feed ancestor, you feed your grand ancestor, you bow them, and then they gave you a special chair with three legs, and then they sat you on that 1, 2, 3 times, which means now you go up and you can wear this hat first.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So that's a coming of age tradition.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
How
want-
old old were you when that happened?
Oh, it's when, let's say 39, when I get this.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's recent.
Yeah, it's recent. Yeah, 2 years ago when I went back home.
Okay.
For my father's funeral that I did all
Oh.
that.
So,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
it's more of a senior tradition. It's more for seniors. I mean, as
it's
in
not
like
for senior, but for adult. And
yeah.
it's not everyone who can wear this because you have to go through that process before you wear this hat.
Mhm.
I see.
Yes, some can
Oh,
wear
right,
this
right.
hat when they are 60. Or some can wear this when they are 20. It depends. When they say you have to do it.
Mhm.
Oh, it's
And
like
you
a
do.
pilgrimage or
Yes.
something like that. And whenever you have to achieve this as a Cameroonian, or is this part of your?
It's part of my culture because I'm from mountain.
Oh, I
Yes,
see.
Bamileke, you're going to see Bamileke. Yes, we are in mountain, and this is part of our culture.
It's beautiful. Yeah, it's really nice culture. And so Bidzina was asking you
And
about.
yes. Sorry, about the necklace.
Then
What's
the necklace? This is, let's say now it's just fake, but before this was the lion tea, which
wow.
means the power.
Yeah.
Okay, and this you see this. This is our traditional fabric. Our traditional fabric, and this design and color also we brought that from Egypt. When we moved from Egypt to the Cameroon, we brought all that, and
So-
we found this in every cultural event. You will find us either wearing this as complete attire, or you can get it in
Sorry,
the necklace and all
You,
that stuff.
you said your culture migrated from Egypt,
Yes.
all of Cameroon, or specifically the mountain people where you're from?
I'm going to say not only from mountain, because even in the north part of Cameroon, because we are, I'm going to say we are cousin, like we moved from Egypt. Some stop in the far north Cameroon, okay, but most of them, they are living around the mountain. We have a chain moving from the ocean to the Nigeria, and all around these mountain you will find people. We have a pretty similar culture at some points, okay. Yeah.
And sorry, I don't mean to drag this on, but when did this migration happen? Do you know?
Guys, a long time ago, before Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because I was gonna Africa was it was a lot more grassland than Sahara.
Yes, before the
Yeah.
Sahara was an ocean.
Right.
And,
Yeah. Exactly.
It
So
was an ocean, and then after the ocean, we have that desert. But even though people were living in that desert, have the livestock and all that stuff. But with invasion with invasion over there in Egypt, now people they spread.
right.
Okay, they spread all around. Some stay in Sudan, some went in the west, some went down.
So do they estimate the migration to happen before it dried up or after?
It happened after it dropped.
After dry. Oh.
Yes,
okay.
after that. It's when people from Eastern Europe, is it Eastern Europe? Yeah, Eastern Europe start to come to Egypt and fight, with all that stuff that happened.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
That is very.
That is
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
either.
look at that.
Fantastic
Yeah.
history.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Should we go to the?
Yeah.
I actually thought these were something to do with the
beekeeping or what?
bull, that bull we saw in the picture.
Oh yes, that's coming up yet.
Yeah.
The longhorn cattle.
No.
And
No, that's a lion.
I don't see anything to do with bees on your clothing.
But anything with bee on my clothing, but it's fine. But I think I wear this. In the bees is kind of organized stuff, and in this
Does
clothes,
look like
this
a
African,
hexagon.
it's kind of we have a kind of web. It look like a web or that stuff, and I prefer to wear this or say, okay, this is kind of organized like in the beehive.
Yeah, well, we'll let you stay, but next time you come here, you should be wearing something that's more with bees on it, traditional bees.
Maybe I've actually seen videos of the traditional African beekeeping suit.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen those?
Yes,
It's made out of straw.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
No, it's
No,
not that.
yeah.
This what you saw. They were doing some kind of traditional dance with straw. We have a crazy bee over there. If you wear a straw, they will find a way to sting you to get into.
Oh,
Like
the straw is not going to
10,000
stop them.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's. I met you, Patrick, when we were. I was helping, or I was teaching a course in beginning beekeeping, and you were a really keen student in that classroom a couple of years ago, very keen, and we got to talking a little bit about the differences between how mild some of the European bees are, particularly those that come out of a country called Slovenia, maybe Austria, where we have the carniolan bees.
Yeah.
And those bees, they rarely sting. And you're shaking your head no, because in Cameroon, they sting?
Yeah, but we don't have carniola in Cameroon. Okay, we have let
Right.
me use the word African bees over there. Okay,
Mhm.
and they are super aggressive. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
They are very, very aggressive.
They're
But
the
I will spoke
Adonisai?
about them. Huh?
They're the Adonisai, Mellifera adonisai, which is the Africanized bee in sub-Saharan Africa.
Yes, but I forgot. Now they have research. They brought a name that I don't recall it.
That's okay. I don't either.
So the Africanized bee, also known as the AHB, Africanized honeybee, or colloquially as the killer bee.
No,
Yes.
no, you're talking about something different now. When you talk about Africanized honeybees, then you're talking about Western honeybees that have become Africanized.
I see.
So that's a hybrid. And so
Yeah.
the AHB, Africanized honeybee, is in Brazil, and then also in southern United States now from migration. But what we were specifically talking about, and maybe this picture will help us. So those of you who are listening, we're going to try to describe the photographs as much as we can. But in general, if you have a chance, watch our podcast, our video cast on YouTube, and you'll be able to see these pictures. But Patrick, we are looking at a beehive in a tree, and we are looking at people harvesting honey from that beehive in the tree. I'd like you to describe the beehive itself a little bit, please.
But before that, if you don't mind, I can give a brief history or a storytelling.
Love it. Go ahead.
A storytelling how I get into the beekeeping. Okay, I was involved in the beekeeping. I got the fever of beekeeping through my grandfather.
There's a fever?
Let's say fever. Let me use that word, fever. Like
I think that's a good word.
Yes.
Okay.
They use the bug here, and I don't really like
we get the
that.
bee bug.
Okay.
But the bee fever, that's good,
Yes,
isn't it?
yeah.
It's more like a fever. Yeah, you kind of when
Okay.
you start to eat your honey.
Okay.
and-
Over there we have fever. That's why I use that word. Like
Yes.
I got that bee fever. Okay. Because of my grandpa.
It doesn't go away either. There is no cure for bee fever.
There's no cure.
No.
Yeah. Everywhere you have it. Everywhere you can find the bees. You have that. Bee
Somebody
fever.
has bee fever there.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. The first time I went into the beekeeping was in 2003, when I left the capital city to go to the village to do the grade 12 staying with my grandpa. And my grandpa was an handicraft, a farmer. Okay, he was invalid. I'm going to say staying on a wheelchair, but he did a lot of things. And
He was beekeeping.
Yes, he was a farmer. And amongst that, he was doing beekeeping, because over there, the beekeeping is not like here in Canada, like it's a job, okay? But over there, beekeeping is, I'm going to say, side money, because we do nothing. The only thing that we do is to build the hive,
Right.
lure the hive to catch swarm, and you leave the bees, they do themselves.
Yeah.
And after 6 months, you just harvest. But the work that he asked me, okay, I was going into the, let's say, down the hill, cutting bamboo, bring bamboo at home, the dry one, and then he gave us the dimension to cut. We cut the dimension. He said, remove the inside, the bamboo stick, and then we made the hive, circular one, like a drum. Okay, using the bamboo.
So a hollowed out piece of bamboo.
Not hollow.
No?
No, what we were using, we have a circular. He gave us a circular wood, okay.
Yes.
And then he said 2 of them with the lamp. He said, okay, put the bamboo and hook the bamboo so that it's going to be round.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Like a hollow tree.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then we use the bamboo to make also to close and then the entrance. But it was made so that the entrance was like, let's say, in the other size. And when we want to harvest, we stay in the back and open from the back and harvest. My work, okay, was to cut the bamboo, build the hive, put a lure. And then we use over there, we were using lemongrass. We pounded lemongrass, add a little bit amount of water, and with honey, and then we roll it outside and inside the hive.
And that lures the swarms in.
Yes.
Brilliant. I like it.
Yes. That was the job that I was doing. And then he said, okay, he looked around the compound and said, okay, you can go and put that on that tree, like more than 10 feet away, like you are seeing this hive there.
Yes.
Yes. I was climbing on the tree, and then send a rope, he tied the hive, and then I put it in store.
Your grandfather would be telling you where to do this.
Yeah, he was telling what. I was not the one harvest, because our bee were and are crazy. Okay? And why we were putting those hive on the tree? It was for 3 reasons. First of all, to protect the hive, because in that place in the mountain, when it's dry, people put the fire, we have a wildfire everywhere.
Oh.
Yes. We burn it, because after that, when we burn the grass, they start making dig. Yes.
Right.
Yes. They start plowing that and then plant stuff.
I got it. Yeah,
Yes.
that's good traditional farming practice.
Yes. That was the first thing. The second thing was to protect human beings and animals, because our bees, you cannot stay maybe in one meter. They are going to charge you like crazy, and they can charge you for 1 kilometer to 2 kilometers. And what my grandpa said, if they charge you like that, just jump into the river and stay there maybe for 2 to 3
So
minutes.
that's where that lure comes from.
Okay. And then the third thing, like I was saying, was to protect the bees
From people bothering
from
them.
from people bothering them.
Yeah.
Yes.
And are they active all year round, or is there a period where they're not as active?
No, they're acting all year round. But
Okay.
we over there, we were harvesting that 2 times a year. But with the harvesting part, okay, my job was to light the fire. We used to light, when at that time we didn't have a smoker,
Yeah.
but we used to light a big, using wood, big
Right.
light, and then use avocado leaf, green leaf. We put that on fire,
Yeah.
make smoke bigger, and then he climb on the tree and harvest the honey. And after the harvest, he put that in the box, send that to us, and after that we pound it, sieve, all that stuff is how we got the honey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this picture here, do you want to describe it a little bit?
Okay,
What's
I'm
going
going
on?
to describe, like I was saying, this hive is, I'm going to say, is a new generation hive. It's not what I saw when I was there in, in
It's not a
2002.
round hive. It's
Yes,
not.
not a round one. This one is look like the Dadan or Landstrop, but Landstrop broods. Yes, because in the first one, you will have the bar there.
And sorry, what's that wood? What do they make? Is that bamboo as well?
It's a bamboo. Yes,
Okay.
it's a bamboo. Yeah,
Okay.
it's made with bamboo.
This flattened out bamboo.
Yes, and then they start to flat down. Yeah, and then it's covered. And you saw that on tree is on purpose because down there you're gonna see in the picture they have corn there, which means people is this in someone farm. Yes.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. And on the second one, we have two students there. They are doing the what is the word again? They are doing their internship, and they are learning how to harvest. They are on the tree wearing a complete suit with a glove, and that glove, even if the bees sting on that glove, they will not get them.
I see.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is very different because I was just doing beekeeping last week with this is in my t-shirt and shorts and flip-flops.
You cannot do that with African bees.
No.
Yeah.
No way. You have to be covered all. Our bees are small. If they see a small hole on your suit,
they'll
will
find
get through.
it.
They will find it and get through.
They'll go right through that straw suit that you put on.
Well, the Italian Cornellis can do that too. I've seen them. They've attacked me if they get angry. But yeah, you can. That's because you anger them.
Yeah.
Australian bees are more aggressive than Italian ones.
Maybe that's what I had.
Maybe.
But
okay, so we have been looking up a tree at what looks like an almost westernized type of a hive because it has the square rectangular sort of edges, also made out of bamboo.
Bamboos.
And then it has a tin roof on it. Is that right?
Yes, that one is kind of telescopic, lid.
Okay. And
But inside there you have a plywood. You have a plywood there beneath that. It's a telescopic
okay,
lid.
got it.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So when you harvest, then you pull that lid off.
Yes, you pull the lid up on this type.
On that type.
Yes.
Right.
You pull the lid up and then you have the bar that you lift the bar. You will see it.
Okay.
And
Okay.
will you put a second box on top of this one?
Yes, you can put a second box on top of that one. But the way they made the bar is not like what we do here in Canada. Like there is no space for bees to go up, amount in between the bar. Everything is closed tight.
Okay.
And
they will harvest from the first box.
Yes, they will have from the brood box here.
Huh.
They check it, maybe the 1, 2, 3, maybe the 5th. And inside there is not only 10 bar. You can get 15 bar there.
Oh, right. It looks a lot wider.
It's not wider. What we have here is wider than this hive. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Yeah. But you will see the hive, the Forbaso hive, which is wider than the hive that we have here.
But this you're putting up inside of a tree, so you can't have a really big. You're not building a tree house up there. You're sticking a box up in the tree.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted us to kind of step back just a little bit because we're talking about Africa, the country of Cameroon, where you originally were from. You live in Calgary now, and just because most people don't know much about geography, Cameroon is a country near the center of Africa, along the western side of the continent of Africa, Europe to the north, and the Middle East a little bit, and India off to the northeast. But then there's Africa, and Africa is a huge continent. It's one of the largest continents, and Cameroon is a country that has a very mixed sort of geography. Yeah. So we have a picture up for those of you who are looking and watching. We've got 3 different scenes in the picture. And I'll ask Patrick. I think you've indicated you've been to each of those types of areas inside of Cameroon. So what are we looking at?
Okay, first of all, I'm going to say, just let me go back a little bit. Cameroon is located in the central Africa, and around the Cameroon, you have in the west part Nigeria.
Nigeria, yeah.
Okay, in the
yeah.
north part, you have Chad, and in the east part, you have the Central Republic, you have the Congo, and then in the south part, you have Gabon and Equatorial Guinea.
Okay.
Those are the country around the Cameroon.
Are those all kind of have different cultures and different languages and different ways of doing things?
Cameroon and Nigeria, all the border between Cameroon and Nigeria, they have the same culture. I say all the border.
Along the border.
Along the border.
Mhm.
Same thing along the west border between the Cameroon and the Central Republic Africa, they have the same culture. And now when we are going down in the south, where you have Gabon, Guinea, Equatorial Guinea, and Congo, they have the same culture too.
Okay.
Yes, they
okay.
have, because before we were colonized by the German or Gabon, some part of Nigeria, even the Equatorial Guinea was in Cameroon. And then it's the German would just split.
Oh, they just said, we'll put a border in here and let the people sort it out themselves.
The scramble for Africa is what I've heard.
Oh, boy. Colonization.
It's fine.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't. But I think I don't know. I could be wrong here, but they divided it based on mountain ranges and rivers. Because that's how if you look at Europe's border, that's how they divide it. Because they're like, I'm on this side of the river, this is my country, you're on this side of the river. So they looked at it the same way. But in Africa...
even in Africa, it was the same thing because when you see all the boundary between Cameroon and Nigeria, at some place is river.
Right.
But when you are going a little bit north, it's mountain.
Right.
Yes, the mountain will divide. When we are going all the
But we were talking about earlier how you have native Pygmy people in Cameroon, and they'll travel all across the borders. They don't
have the real border.
Yeah,
the
they don't
Pygmy,
consider the borders.
They
real.
don't consider the border because
Right.
they can move from the South Cameroon to Gabon. They can move from the South Cameroon to Equatorial Guinea or to Congo or to Central Africa because they are speaking the same language, and this is in the forest, the raining forest where you have big trees and it's the environment.
Wow.
Okay, and most of the time they move like that when they lost someone. They move, but now
Right.
Can you explain that a little bit? When they lost someone, what does that mean? They move on when they lost somebody.
Yeah, when somebody die,
Okay.
they mourn and say that the chief, because most of their colony is not big. They can be 5 or 6 family in their hut.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and when one of them die, they move because they think that area is not safe for them.
Yeah.
Understand what I mean? And then they move, in a different place.
Right.
In the forest.
Will they bury that person in that area?
Yes, they're going to bury in that area, and then they move somewhere else.
And it will be marked for them in the future to reference future?
Yes. Yeah.
So will another tribe come to that area and live in that area?
It's gonna be... no. Another tribe will not, because they will know, because all of them, they have this, I'm going to say, the same culture. When someone is buried, they can put a stone, or they can put, sometimes they have a special plant that they are the one who know that this plant, someone was buried here.
Mm-hmm.
So their way of life is limited by the borders because they can't, even the other neighboring tribes can't live in the area where one tribe had a member pass away. Not can't, but they usually don't. That's it. I don't know. It's just I find that.
But I'm going to say that they know that someone died there, but they know the tribe. They won't stay there because they are sharing the forest.
Yeah.
Oh, you understand what I mean? They are sharing the resources because they still live now.
But what about like after a certain period? Do they ever come back to that spot?
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know.
Yeah, but for that, I'm not sure.
Unless these people,
Because they're gonna run out of spots.
unless these people are
They
beekeepers.
they will not run on spot. Why? Because the forest is still huge, big,
I see.
and then their population is not bigger than I'm gonna say sedentary people.
I don't think we are going to go into that depth with all the 242 different languages and
248 different languages.
yeah. So these are one group of people, and unless they're beekeepers, we'll move on.
But they are doing beekeeping.
Oh, they
but-
are.
But
Yeah.
Okay.
it's not like we are doing, because when they saw, let's say, a hive, a swarming hive, on the tree, most of the time is in the tree. They go and harvest. And they are doing that without wearing a belt. They are smart. I don't know. They have some herb that they rub on them. The bee will not sting them.
Yeah, they'll.
Wow.
You're talking about the wild beehives.
I'm talking about the wild beehive. They harvest that without wearing a veil.
And those are the even more dangerous.
Yes.
Huh.
But they have a special herb that they rub on their body. They are the one
Oh, they
knowing.
rub the herb on their body.
Yes, they are the one knowing that. And it's secret from them. Okay, we are
It's
not
a
talking...
secret. Oh,
Yes,
but no, that's fascinating.
That's
I'm glad
another
we
episode.
went there. That sounds really, really cool. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, I gotta learn
so,
the secret.
So that's a lot of detail on one small group of
Yeah.
people that live inside of Cameroon and travel in and out of the country. But mostly, we kind of know that Cameroon. Like, I'll tell you a few things I know about Cameroon. I want to get clarity on. So maybe I'm wrong.
Okay.
But I remember. Probably, I was quite young then, or quite a bit younger than I am now. But there was a lake in Cameroon that it belched, it turned over, it left off a lot of poisonous gas.
Yes, leg news in 98, I don't know if 1982 or 81 something.
1980 something,
NYOS, leg news, yes.
and it killed
It's-
1,000 people
Yes, with cattle, all that stuff.
and
Yeah.
cattle. And just like overnight, people were
Overnight,
asleep, and
yeah.
then no one woke up.
No one woke up. Yeah, till today, we are trying to remove the gas in that lake. But now people are living there because they put a kind of tube system which bring the water up so
It
that
circulates
the gas,
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in 1986, possibly as a result of a landslide, Lake Neos suddenly emitted a large cloud of CO2, which suffocated 1,700 people and 3,500 livestock in nearby towns and villages. Most notable being Cha, which was abandoned after the incident. The Limerick eruption not only devastated human and livestock, but also profound impact on diverse aquatic life. Interesting.
But
I didn't know about that.
nowadays, even in that lake, I'm going to say that we have fish there. With time, with desertification, the life become possible over there nowadays. People went back.
And they have a way of getting the carbon dioxide out of the water
Yes,
so it
out.
doesn't flip over and let out a big cloud again.
Yes, yeah.
That's good. That's
So
very
this was a natural occurrence?
good. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And let go back into the picture, okay?
Yes.
On the far right, you have
We're up in some mountain area.
yes. Over there, that place is the Rumsiki Peak at the border between the Cameroon and Nigeria.
Okay. I just don't picture parts of sub-Saharan Africa as having, like really high mountains like that. But it does.
Yeah, we have the Mount Cameroon is Cameroon is around 4,100 meters.
4,100 meters. That's as
Yes,
high as the
yes.
mountains near Calgary.
Yes,
Yeah.
above the sea. Yeah.
Ours have snow on the top. Do you have snow on top of your mountains?
Which one?
We have snow on top of our
Yes,
mountains.
yeah, we have snow on top of the Mount Cameroon, not in the far north, because
Okay.
in the far north there,
Yes.
we have over there 9 months of drought.
9 months of drought.
Yes, everything is dry. And
Sorry, go ahead.
And at that time, under the tree, you are between 40 to 42 degree under the tree, under the shade.
Ooh.
And out of the shade is 45 to 50
Yeah.
for 9 months. And then you have 3 months of raining season.
Okay.
And when it's raining, you have grass everywhere.
Yeah.
This is for the far north.
Mhm.
Okay. And on the left corner, you have there is, I think it's the park, Waza Park, where you see
Yes.
elephant.
Yeah, so we're looking at a single big tree, a very big tree, because there's a herd of elephants
Right.
under the tree.
Yeah, and they look tiny compared to the.
They do, yeah. So this must be a huge tree.
It's a huge tree, but for sure, I could not give you. It's not the baobab. It's not the baobab. But most of the time, when you see elephant like that, they love the leaf and the fruit of that tree. That's why you're gonna see them beneath.
Okay.
Yeah, beneath.
That's why they're there.
Yeah, that's why they are there.
Not so much for the shade, but for the food. But
For the food.
that looks to me like a huge acacia tree, like a desert acacia.
Yeah, but when you see the shape of the trees, okay, and then the shape of some tree around, it is in the desert area, and this is the water, and that trees is from the acacia family. I don't know the scientific name or the local name. I'm sorry for that. And then for the picture that we have down with cattle, this is in the Adamawa region. Okay, a little bit down, because Adamawa region is a middle between the forest and then the savanna and desert. They are there in the middle.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, if you were going to keep bees in Cameroon, of these 3 areas that we're looking at right now,
Yeah.
we've got one that's mountainous, one that's a savanna with looks like an acacia type of a tree and elephants nearby, and then we have a photograph that looks more like a prairie that you might
Yes,
find
it's
in
like the prairie,
Saskatchewan,
yeah.
although I bet it's a lot hotter. And we have cattle, like longhorn cattle, wandering around. Now, if you were going to keep bees, what would be your preferred area?
In that prairie, because it's over there that we have 70% of the Cameroonian honey production
Ah,
in that
okay.
area.
That's good. Okay. And what
Do
does
those
most
cows
of that?
contribute?
Not the cow, because in that areas, I'm going to say the diversity are there. You have a lot of small tree which bloom. I'm going to say the whole year. When it's a little bit hot, okay, the grass will die. But those who have that herd, they are going to put a fire.
Yeah.
The fire will burn the grass, and after 2 days you will have fresh grass, and maybe about after a week, you will see a small flower on
Right,
those
right.
grass.
And they do this frequently.
Yes, and they're doing that
Oh,
frequently.
okay.
You understand? what I
Maybe we
mean?
should start doing that more here.
Maybe.
Well,
we
it
should.
happens fires, but sometimes they do controlled fires. But
But over there, they do wildfire and control too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know how to do control. I learned it in the far north.
Yes.
Yes, in the far north.
You were involved in some engineering type work when you lived in Cameroon.
Yes, I was agricultural engineer
Okay.
in Cameroon, and then I specialized myself in agricultural power machinery. But most of my work was with community. I empower community groups, cooperative, starting from the village. Like when the government sent me and say, okay, we want this project to be done in this particular place. I start with the community, and from there I gather them, teach them, I'm going to say, on what we are going, bring them for the community to a association to a cooperative. And on my hand, I left 7 cooperatives all around the country
Wow.
and 1 union before
Yes.
I left. This was in the south part of the country, but in the north part, I empower women for 3 years in generative business.
Right.
Okay, when they want to do something, they have an idea, because I was a manager of a small community agricultural center. when they have an idea, they don't have a finance. We have 30 minutes in class, and then the whole day we are in the field working.
Okay.
Yes. And
Yeah.
after that, I wrote a small project, submit to the government. If the government agree, they have a finance. And then they do it according to what we did at school. It was what I was doing. And then I taught also at the college, agricultural, I taught agricultural power machinery at the college. Yeah.
Wow. So your job then really was going out, understanding how people are doing things, and then bringing some new ideas or even getting them to work together on projects.
Getting them to work together on project, okay, and then transforming their idea into a concrete project.
Yes.
Like, okay, I want to produce tomato. He don't know how to produce tomato. Then we have a class on how to produce tomato. The first step is plow, and then do seedling, all that stuff, according to their climate, because it was hot over there.
Right.
This is what we have to do. The irrigation system.
And
We did all that in class, and then we go into the field for practice. The practice was at least every day for 6 hours.
wow.
And we did that. The cohort was 3-month cohort. After 3 months, we gave them a certificate, and then we take another cohort. It
Yeah.
was like that.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's great work.
So what do we got on the next slide here?
Why don't we go on to the next one? I don't know.
Let's go.
Why don't we?
No, sorry. What do we got
We
going
have-
on the next
The
slide?
next slide, we're going to talk about bees and some of the beekeepers in Cameroon that Patrick was associated with.
I'm not associated with them in the beekeeping, but let's say that I contribute when they have a life. I contribute in their life, talking about beekeeping, okay, talking about agriculture, because they are not only beekeeper, okay?
Yeah.
They are farmers, and then they are doing
Right.
beekeeping too.
So,
Okay. Yeah?
no, go ahead.
No, go ahead, B.
I was just going to say, is this one of the farmers here?
Yes, this guy, I'm going to say, is a kind of guru. He's young, but he inherited the beekeeping from his father. His father is a big guru. His name is Fobaso, but this guy is Fobaso William. His father has more than 15,000 hive.
And that's all across trees or in
Yes,
one
all
bee?
across tree, all
Wow.
across in many region in Cameroon. Like in the west region, his father has.
He has
all spread all
employees
around.
and stuff, and
Yes,
yeah.
But
yeah.
for the employee is when they want to harvest. Okay, that they are
only during
that-
harvest.
Yes, they are guarding people. He has employee to. He has the hive factory when he's making those bamboo, because you see this one is different from the other one. This hive, the hive in the middle, we call that the Fobaso hive. And Fobaso is the name of this young guy. His name is William. First name is
He
William.
developed this.
This hive was developed by him. I'm going to say the father started a little bit, and then he improved what his father did.
Yeah.
And he brand the name of that Fobaso hive. This hive, if you throw that hive on the floor, it will not break because it's strong.
Wow. It looks really well made. But something interesting in this photograph, we'll describe it for people who are just listening. First of all, we have 3 photographs up right now for those who are watching. We have a young man who is sitting beside a hive of bees, and it's his father who owns 15,000 colonies of bees. And in the center picture, we have a very stylish, very neat, very nicely made bamboo wooden square rectangular type of a beehive. And I'm going to venture to say that in this particular picture, this type of hive, it looks like you would open the side and not the top. Is that true?
You will open the side, yes, the back to harvest. Because in that one, in the Fobaso hive, the one in the middle, we don't have the bar. There is no bar. But the way the bamboo is placed on the top, the bee will follow that.
Okay.
Inside, they're
that's
going
a
to
guide.
follow. Yes,
Yeah.
it's a guide. Okay. But if you want to harvest, you open the side, the back. You see how the back is. You open it,
Yes.
and then you just cut the honeycomb.
Okay.
You cut it's how they most of the time they harvest half, leave the brood. The brood
Right.
is in the front,
Right.
and then in the middle. After the middle, you have
So when you open that side cover, right? So are the comb, is it built horizontally going this way, or is it built vertically? Like you see how the bamboo is
It's built
going with the
it's built toward the bamboo. It's following
The line
I want
of-
to say the line most of the time.
most of the
But
time.
sometimes it's not following.
So you're able to take out the
cannot
side
pull.
and see.
When you open the back, when you open back, you are going to see the honeycomb going, following the line.
Every single frame you can
Yes.
see. Okay.
Yes, and then you can cut on the top. They use a kind of knife just to cut it.
Goes
Harvest.
deep in there.
Yeah, they're going deep.
Yeah.
Yes, to harvest that, and they do that till the middle, and then they leave maybe one honeycomb bar for the bees.
And no wood involved, no wires, nothing. The bees are building all the comb themselves.
Yes.
That's really cool. I like
Yes,
that.
it
It's
is.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the hive, the last hive, that one is a Taminier hive. It's kind of Landstruff, let's say Landstruff bamboo.
Okay.
Yes, with a entrance reducer. You can slide it depending on the colony that you have there. If you don't want maybe all the bees to rope what is in there, you allow maybe two holes for bees just to get in there.
Oh, that metal entrance.
Yes,
Okay, I see.
Yeah. And in the first pictures, you see, I told you that African bees are super aggressive. Like they
Yeah.
have a wild temper.
But
But
he's-
now this guy he's doing a kind of selection. The hive with a temper, like a good temper. Where he is now, this hive is located in his compound where he's living,
Wow.
in the city,
Yes.
which means these bees now can, they can withstand with the noise, all kind of noise.
Right. And
Than
people wandering
with
around.
people, all that stuff. Yes.
So sorry, go ahead. I was like gonna ask.
I'm going to say he's the first one. To kind of, let's say, to kind of make that selection. Because back there, we have that problem still to now, that the selection, because most of our bees are wild bees. Like I say, we lure the hive, put on the tree. Where are they coming from? From the bush. They are all wild. But in this picture, this is the first hive he has in the city. Because guess what? He put that hive. We're going to see that. You see the hive. Like
Yes.
he went somewhere and then harvest and bring back some hive at home to fix. Okay? And then that bees goes into that hive.
Okay.
So essentially, he's training the bees. He's like a dog almost, because there are wild dogs in nature. If you take this wild dog and then you get it accustomed to humans, eventually you become more temperate.
I think it's what he's doing.
Yeah,
but
that's
first
really-
of all, look, those bees get into the hive that he put in his backyard just to fix that. Like it's look that they left the bush
Mm-hmm.
just to come into the city. Maybe they were going to the bush, I don't know.
Mhm.
And
But they
then
found the box
They found
sitting
the
there.
box and then they stay there.
So they came on their own, and
Yeah,
he's
they
like,
came on
I
their
like
own.
this.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then he just put them there and
And-
going there every time, moving through them, because he has some video as he's showing. I think maybe with time, like they were used to human being, he was able just to stand beside them like
Right.
this.
And where are they flying out of when the side is closed? Sorry, I don't mean to. Where are they flying out of when the side is closed there? Where's their entrance?
The entrance is on the other side.
On the other side, it's just like okay.
Yeah, it's on the other side.
And I just want to describe the first picture again. The young man is sitting in front of a hive where he's just inches, just he's almost touching the bees, and the bees are exposed, and he just looks so calm and relaxed, like he's not going to get stung. And this is different from what you were describing with the ones that are in the trees.
Yes.
That you can't even get a meter away from.
You can't get a meter yet. And most of the time, this is something funny. Those bees, when we harvest on the tree, they don't bother people who are harvesting. They bother people who are just passing or any animal passing just around.
Yeah,
wow.
That seems to be,
Wow.
So, and that's what they say about a bear, right? You just got to be faster than the guy running next to you.
Okay, let's move on. Something next is the same huge beekeeping operation. What we're looking at next are 3 photographs with equipment being built and moved. So is that the same young man in the picture again? That's father owns 15,000 colonies of bees?
Yes.
And he has his own bees too, doesn't he?
He has his own bees. I think maybe now he's around 7,000, but he said that at the end of this year he would like to install 50,000. That is what he said. And you're going to see there, we are here in his workshop. You see all those, the young lady, a boy, a university student.
Yes.
Who are there for the internship. They want to learn the beekeeping.
Yeah.
Yes, he's training them on how to make the Fobaso hive. And in the first one, you saw the 3 young fellow guys wearing their bee suit, the complete one. They are ready to go into the field to harvest. When they are wearing like that, it's for the harvesting. Yeah.
They expect to get stung if they don't have that on.
Oh, yeah. Even me here, I can walk on my bees sometimes without wearing a vest, but I cannot try.
Right.
Back in Cameroon. Yeah. I brought those pictures to you just to see the different. When you are looking the workshop here is bamboo, and here we have wood.
Yes, wood.
Yeah, we have wood, and this is how we hold those hives to bring into the forest.
Okay, a really cool picture here. Let me describe it really briefly. Is that same young man who's with the big beekeeping family? He's sitting on some collapsed-looking beehives that are roped down on the back of a truck. So he's up there. I don't know if he would ride through the field like that, maybe, and somebody's driving. But he's also posing for a photograph here.
Yeah. This is for the photograph. He will not ride on the back because on there we are going to add more.
Oh,
that has to be at least supplies for close to 50 beehives.
Yeah, you can get more than 50 on that one.
Right.
Yeah, on that truck.
So he will take these and have he and his helpers will climb trees and put them out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And wild bees will come.
Yes, because I didn't get the picture where he's learning, but they are learning now with wax. They have, the gas.
The lemongrass.
No. Not nowadays.
No?
They are learning that only with wax.
Only with wax they use for a lure.
Yes, they warm the wax and then rub inside and outside.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay.
They don't need to build it in a special way, line it up. They just rub it.
They rub only the wax. It's what they are doing nowadays.
And the bees that are coming, that's from their own yard, or where are these bees coming from?
From the wax. They are wild bees.
They're wild bees that just live in
the
the
swamp.
area.
Because I'm going to say the habit of bees back into Cameroon and the habit of bees here are the same. During the honey production, there are a lot of swarm. It's at that time that they are swarming like crazy, same like here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they know the time. Most of the time they are installing their hive, doing the honey production so that it can be colonized faster.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, not too long ago, I read a paper that was written about the density of colonies of bees in different parts of the world. and apparently in sub-Saharan Africa, it's not uncommon in the wild, in nature, to have 60 or 80 colonies of wild bees in each square kilometer. So they're very dense. Like, there are a lot of wild bees. So the possibility of collecting, catching them is quite easy. Compared to in nature, there might only be 5 or 10 colonies in Central or Northern Europe. So the density of these bees is much, much higher.
Yes, it's much higher, because even when I was young, we can see. We can see them on trees. They're building the comb. They're staying there. No one can go and just touch them. I saw many of them.
Yes.
Yes.
And this is due to weather, or just all sorts of conditions, or it's just hot there?
It's
they
not
like
because it's hot. It's the weather, and also because of the biodiversity. They analyze honey, okay, in our school, agricultural school. Okay, and then they found that only one drop of honey got at least 1,000 pollen species.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. So
1,000.
1,000?
Yes, 1,000. With the biodiversity over there are huge.
yes, that is
Wow,
huge.
that is actually,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, I did some pollen studies of honey in Western Canada, and we had as many as about 20, but predominantly 3 or 4. And the others would be very, very minor, like, dust kind of settling in, pollen dust settling in. But what the bees were actually working was not more than 3 or 4 species of plants to collect the pollen and nectar. And you're telling me the bees there have way more variety to choose from.
That's why our honey is strong. When you take a drop, it can stay on your mouth for long. And
what's the color of the honey there?
depending on the flower and the area, but mostly it's dark.
Dark honey is
It's
and
dark.
that's kind of typical, isn't it? And you have a lot of eucalyptus there too, don't you?
Depending on the area, like I said. In the
That'll be
mountain-
coming up. We do have some pictures coming up of some of the honey here in a few minutes. I just want to kind of get us to wrap up on the equipment. I don't know if we need to say much about this next slide that we're looking at.
I will say that on this one below, we have the nukes, which means they are thinking like in the north, let's say European or Northern America. They
Yes.
are making nukes now. This guy Fobaso, I saw he moved bees, and he's moving bees on the nukes.
Okay.
That's why he's making nukes. And
Okay.
that's why I brought that picture to you.
What do you think about making nukes there? Because with so many wild bees to be gathered for free just for putting out an empty box, isn't the nuke like a lot of trouble? Just work?
It's not a lot of trouble. Even though now the beekeeper population are growing, because
Okay.
before it was not like that. As they are advertising through social media, they are training a lot of people, and there's people who don't want to wait, who are eager. I want to work. I want to get my bees. Guess what? He said, okay, I'm going to give you a nuke. He went into his hive. He's found the queen. The same thing like
Yeah,
he did
like
the
we do
split.
here.
Yes,
Mhm.
the split. He just put there in the small nuke and then close, send it.
And then they're off. They've got their own bees then.
Yeah.
Yeah, people
And
are
then
really...
when he get the nukes, he put that in the big box now, and allow the bees
To grow, just like we do here.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's very similar.
It's a very interesting point he brought up. People that get into beekeeping, they're so eager to get their bees.
Yes.
Because it only can be, it can be delivered a certain time, but sometimes it's like February, and
But
where am I be?
The problem that we have, I cannot say it's a problem, but yeah, when we are doing, if I want to compare the Canadian beekeeping and Cameroonian beekeeping, Canadian beekeeping is well organized than Cameroonian beekeeping, because in Cameroon we rely on the nature, but here is a complete, everything is well organized. Like you have beekeeper who are selling bees, you have beekeeper who are doing queen rearing, all that stuff. But over there, They rely on what you cannot say that. Okay, maybe in July I will get bees. You don't know. Okay, but for Basso, as he has 7,000 hive, okay, he can decide to sell
Right.
one hive as a milk, something like that. Do a split.
They haven't set up a beekeeping industry
Yes,
there.
not
It's
yet. And even the
interesting.
government, they are trying with the government so that the government can introduce the honey course into agricultural school, but the government is still, turning around.
Would some sort of educational app be beneficial, where it's translated in French and it's very streamlined, gamified for kids, and they can keep a track, an impact meter on how many, what impact they're making on the environment through the app, and they get rewarded?
Yes, maybe. I'm going to say maybe, everything concerning beekeeping is good. Okay, but if you ask me, like I said, I would like in every school, when we are talking about science, biodiversity, I would like in the curriculum to put beekeeping there.
Oh, I see.
You understand?
Why I bring up the app is because I know that Africa, the technology is limited, but they say that they're leapfrogging other countries where they're jumping on, like everyone has a smartphone there.
Yes. Nowadays, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So their apps and smartphones are very common amongst the people to use, or is that kind of like a fallacy?
But
there?
it's going to be funny, but I would like, beekeeping. People in Cameroon don't want to be involved in beekeeping because of the aggressivity of bees.
Oh, I see.
If you count 10 people, at least 9 will say, I was stung in my life by bees. And it's hurt. It's hurt. That's why they want to stay away. The beekeeping up to now is not like a profession like here.
Yeah.
No, it's like an hobby. And even though we don't know the beekeeper, you understand? I'm going to say in the village like that, yes, now I know who is beekeeper, who is not beekeeper. But if you ask 10 people who are not beekeeper, they won't know who is a beekeeper or who is not a beekeeper.
Right.
Is that what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's more of like a family thing. It's
Yes.
not
Family, let's say hobby. It's not family, but let's say hobby. But it's now with the social media. People are saying, because over there is what they are doing is they put a hive, they catch a swarm, and then they did nothing. At the end, after 6 months, they go harvest and sell. It's kind of side money. That's why
Yeah.
you're going to see people are running now to go and learn, to do beekeeping.
because you
But
can make side.
you can make side
It's being
money.
exported out.
It's
Honey-
export, yes, it's
Export,
export, but
okay.
not in quantity like here. You understand what I mean? Yeah. A hive can produce roughly around 10 kilogram to 20 kilogram of honey per season, and then they have 2 seasons, which
Right.
means it's 20 to 40 kilogram per hive.
I mean, Manuka honey outside of New Zealand, they were able to somehow convince the world to pay. What?
Yeah, it's an inflated and over, and I think it's an exaggerated product of Manuka honey to some
about
extent.
Manuka?
No, that's why I was saying, let me jumping from here to here.
How would
That-
you compare Cameroonian honey to Manuka honey?
I'm going to say Cameroonian honey is, I'm going to say, let's say the most bio honey. Let me use that word because it's from wild honey.
So would you say it's better?
It's better, yeah.
Than Manuka?
Yeah.
Really?
But, everything is depend on who is there, supporting
Right.
that project.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. There's a
yes.
huge
Yeah.
backing and the
Well, Manuka honey is not popular because of flavor or because of general health or because of it being organic or anything like that. What it is they have tested a variety of honeys, and in general, honey works as a bactericide. If you have bacteria growing in an agar dish, in a lab, and you put a drop of honey next to the bacteria will die, at least that part of the bacteria that's touching the honey. But if you put a drop of Manuka honey, basically the whole lid, the whole agar dish will die. Like it is that strong of an like it kills bacteria. So that's, and it does have
That's a special property.
It's a special property of Manuka honey. So I hate putting Manuka honey into a category as being a quality honey. I think it's been exaggerated so much. And there has been some real serious incidents of people passing off honey that's not Manuka honey as Manuka honey, either by blending or even adding the chemicals to it to make it be more of an antibacteria product. So talking about the honey that's produced in Cameroon, I'm really curious to know if there are parts of Cameroon where the honey can be organic, or is agricultural chemicals so extensive in Cameroon like it is in most countries that it's hard to get organic honey?
I'm going to say most of the honey in Cameroon are organic.
Okay.
Like I was saying.
Yes.
Because they are coming from wild bees, first of all. But around, I'm going to say, big farming, because we found big farming where they are using chemical in the southwest, where they are doing palm trees, bananas, pineapple. If maybe you put your hive around there, you can get chemical in those hives.
Yes.
So, but most of, in that area that I'm saying, the beekeeping is not well settled or developed than in the Adamawa place, where I'm saying in the west, because in Cameroon, you will find bees where they are kind of organized. You will find them in the northwest Cameroon. It's still in the mountain. You will find them in the west Cameroon. You will find them in the Adamawa, where we have 70% of the national honey production in Adamawa.
So are these areas that you say that are organic, are they designated organic, or are you just saying that are you just kind of anecdotal? Like, are they
I can say designated because most of the farmers there, they don't have enough money to buy chemical. Everything is bio. They use manure.
So there's farming going on in these areas, but it's all natural.
Yeah, all natural. Yes, they use mostly manure, cow manure, or goat, or chicken.
Just the traditional way.
Yeah, traditional way. Yes.
Before we move on, we have some pictures of various types of honey. But before we do that, at this point, we have a couple of photographs of people. And I love these photos. They just look like so many eager, happy, new beekeepers. And Patrick, what are we looking at here? We have two photographs. One of them has a gentleman holding some honey in his hands.
Yeah. Okay, here in the first, let me start with the one on the right, okay?
Okay.
That cohort, they were trained 2 years ago. And it's the first cohort trained by that gentleman who is holding comb honey. His name is Taminye. He has a Facebook, Tami Jardin.
Okay, Facebook page.
Facebook page, Tami Jardin.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Click one of those buttons. I don't know.
Okay, sorry. And then, this one is the first cohort. He trained them, and then at the end of the training, he gave them a hive, a complete set, like a suite, hive, smoke, all that, so that they can be ready to go and work.
Yeah, so they have graduated from the course that the gentleman...
It was a 2 days training.
A 2-day training course,
yes. The first day in class, the second day in the field. You go and open the hive.
Yes.
Yes. It's what he did. And
So,
then,
No, I was just going to say the smokers there in the picture in the right side, is that brass? It's like, or is that it's not.
No,
I don't think it's brass. It looks like it's made out of
It
cement.
looks like it's brass. Okay. It looks like it's brass. Yeah.
It looks fancy.
No, they're just a different style.
It's a different style.
They're very silver in color, so I don't think it's a brass. I think
Or
it's
just how it looks on the projector now.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And on the first picture now, the same guy, Tammy, was interviewed by a local TV.
Oh.
And then with William Fobaso, this guy here, who has 7,000 hive. Yeah, the joint venture just to train those students. Those are the students who come for internship, their internship.
Okay.
And then at the end of that interview, video interview,
Yes.
okay, he harvests those comb honey just to show them. And then they are going to try it. You didn't put it there, but after this,
Yes.
they try it.
Before we move on, can you talk about what the internship kind of entails a little bit? What do these students do, and what happens after they graduate?
I'm going to say these students are coming from all around the country. Some are coming from Chad, some coming from Ivory Coast, some coming from Gabon. Yes, and then when they are coming to Cameroon, to that area, this guy, Tammy, he's from my county. Okay? We speak the same language.
I see.
Yeah, when they went there, they did internship with him.
They pay him?
Yes, they pay.
Okay.
It's not free.
Well,
It's
Well,
roughly maybe
They pay
3,000.
interns sometimes.
It's roughly 300, not thousand, 300, yeah, Canadian dollar.
Yeah.
Roughly like that. And
No, that's really, I love it.
but
Yeah.
it's very, very expensive because
Right.
of what people can afford.
mhm.
Yes,
Yeah.
over there. At the end of that, he provide you the complete suit, all that stuff.
Okay.
And there, they were able just to harvest. It was not the harvest time, okay, but they were able to find that comb honey, which is already, ready close. And they were taking that. That's why they took that.
And how long is this internship for?
No, the internship, depending for those who pay, okay, there is 2 days.
Oh, okay.
2 days training.
Right.
But now for those, the student is 1 month.
Hmm.
1 month to 3 months, depending on what level you are. You understand?
I see. Yeah, I see.
Depending on one
What-
level,
yeah, you wanna
It's going
go,
from
yeah.
1 to 3 months.
No, that's very cool. I just, I was a little bit more interested in that because that would be, we don't have anything like that. In Alberta, we get seasonal workers from, a lot of beekeeping seasonal workers come from Mexico, from what I heard, for the commercial guys. And
Yep, South America,
Yeah.
Philippines.
yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying it would be really cool to have a pool of university students that commercial beekeepers that can just that are trained beekeepers, because you don't want to train them. That takes a whole lot. There's only 3 months.
Well, things have changed so much in commercial beekeeping in Canada. When I was a commercial beekeeper in Saskatchewan, I would be able to hire 3 or 4 high school students from the small town that the bees were in, and they were desperate to find work.
Right.
There was nothing for them to do, and they could earn a few $1,000s over the summer by
Yeah.
working with the bees. But these days, the small towns are even smaller than
Yeah.
they used to be. So if you have a honey business of 3,000-4,000 colonies of bees,
Yeah,
you
it's a
need,
lot of work.
You need 20 people, 15 or 20 people working, and you want them to be, over a season that's longer than what people have off for university for the summer. They need a longer season.
They do,
And,
that's right.
And you can be bringing people in from Nicaragua or Mexico or Chile. I've known beekeepers from all 3 of those countries who come into Canada, and they do every year for about 9 or 10 months. They're trained beekeepers. They're very good.
Yeah, they're very good. Yeah.
Yeah, and usually the beekeeper becomes the Canadian beekeeper who owns the 5,000 colonies of bees will become a business manager and a
Right.
people manager, and he'll fill out the paperwork to get these people to come in do the work. And she will not be able to find local kids or university summer students. They just aren't there.
Yeah, they're just not there. And yeah, like I said, they don't want to train them. There are positions posted in beekeeping positions, but all of them say you need experience. And
Well,
yeah.
there's a actual legal reason why you see all those advertisements, and that's because you can only bring in foreign overseas workers if you have advertised in Canada and nobody has filled those spots. So, you're offering $15 an hour, which isn't great wages.
Yeah.
But it is if
Significant somewhere else.
it could be significant somewhere else.
And then you get a stipend or whatever living expenses paid for.
Yep.
Why not?
Yep, and the flights here
Yeah.
and back. And the beekeepers whom I have known that hire overseas workers to work on their farms, their bee farms, those people tend to be extremely good. In like friends of their workers. They treat them like colleagues and not like underlings. And
then they'll probably pay them pretty good too. They'll treat them really nice.
After a few years, and once they get to know how well they can work and how much they can manage, then they start to earn more and more.
You have to do that. If not, they will not come back.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yep.
As working the beekeeping, you are strong, and then at the end of the day, if the manager is giving you shit, let me use that word, I'm not sure that next day you will be there. You have to be friend with them.
Yeah.
And they're probably not only doing beekeeping too. They're probably doing all sorts of other stuff for you.
Not if you have a big outfit, then they're strictly doing beekeeping.
Okay.
There's just so much work that needs to be done on a big farm.
Right.
So they're not likely mowing the grass or anything like that. They
Ranching maybe if they're helping with the cows or something.
I don't know. The big commercial beekeepers usually do not have cattle ranches. I'm talking these guys that have, between 2 and 20,000 colonies of bees in Western Canada.
They're just focused on bees.
They're focused on bees. So we're moving on a little bit. You mentioned a couple of people in the previous pictures who run a lot of bees, and I understand that some of the photographs we're looking at right now are pictures of honey produced by some of those guys.
Yes. Over there, the first one in the jar made by William Fobasso, and then the second one is down in the plastic bottle from Tamijada. Those are the color, and then the one.
So the color is very dark. If you're not watching us, the some of the honey is black in color, like North American buckwheat honey would be.
Yeah, amber is the bottom one kind of.
And also the one in the bottle down is hecaritube, which means those hives were put in the hecaritube farm.
In the eucalyptus farm?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we grow a eucalyptus there for wood.
Wow.
And then to build how we use a eucalyptus wood in the mountain.
Oh.
Yes.
And how long does this honey stay liquid, both of these?
It stays liquid more than the honey that we have in Canada.
Like 6 months, 9 months?
Yes, 6 months. Sometimes it's after a year that you can see kind of small crystallization. But before, when people were seeing that crystallization, they thought that the honey was mixed and then threw that good honey away.
No.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's wild.
They thought that we add sugar, but it was crystallization.
Right.
Even me, it's when I start doing, when you train me, is where I learned that it was crystal.
Yes.
I used to throw it away.
Yeah.
Well, my
you have to
my
be told.
family,
You have to know.
they that's what they told me. They're like, you gave us honey that's filled with sugar. I'm like, no, I
No,
didn't.
it's not. It's pure,
Yeah.
pure Canadian honey.
And it start crystallize when in the raining season, because in the raining season in the mountain where I am, it's cold. We are around 70.
Which one? Sorry.
These two.
Both are
Because
harvested
both
in the
are
rain season?
Yes, they are harvested in the mountain. Those
Yes.
two honey are harvested in the mountain. But this one, the particular hecaritube is in because over there you have mountain where people cannot walk. The slope are very, how can I say?
Yes.
You cannot walk farm on that mountain.
Yeah.
We plant hecaritube on that farm.
Yeah.
On that hill mountain.
It's a tree?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's a-
eucalyptus trees.
Yes,
The
tree.
eucalyptus, you know what eucalyptus is?
I've heard of it. I didn't know it was a tree. I know it smells very well, but how fast does it grow?
Very
In
fast.
6
Very fast.
years, you can harvest it, depending on the variety, because we have 3 good variety that we use in the wood, in the construction. Okay, we have grandis.
Oh, it's good for
Eucalyptus grandis will grow straight. We cut it to make electric posts.
Mm-hmm.
We have another eucalyptus. I forgot the name. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
but that one we use it as a timber wood to make. We cut it to make the 4x4, 2x2, or 2x8, like that.
Right.
Yeah, for
And bees
construction.
pollinate this.
Oh, yes.
Oh, it has a lot of flower.
All year,
Almost all year. Yes.
every year,
Yes. Every year.
even at the beginning when it's sprouting.
No. First is grow, and then as it sprout, you will see the flower there. I'm gonna say almost the whole year.
So
Almost.
3-4 years to mature, or 6 years to mature, or
For Grandis is 6 years, but for the other one is between 8 to 10 years to mature.
and
Yeah,
then after
there
that-
are hundreds of varieties of eucalyptus, and the eucalyptus tree is native to Australia,
Australia.
and most of the honey produced in Australia is eucalyptus honey.
So it's brought over to Cameroon.
Yes,
this
it's brought
tree?
over to Cameroon for many
Grows,
reasons. We use that in the road construction to bring down the water. How do you call it?
Dams,
No, not the water dam. The
bridge.
You-
To dry out
to
areas.
dry out. We brought the curative grandis to dry out the area.
Oh, like drought areas.
No,
No.
marsh.
Oh, marsh
so you can
lands.
farm the marsh afterwards.
Yes, or maybe you can make a road there, like you have how you call it, downhill. Everywhere is water. We plant a curative grandis there. We made it closer, one meter. After 2 to 3 years, everything is drowned. It's bring the water table. Yes, water table very very low.
Because it sucks the moisture out of the ground.
That's correct.
Only one, I think, when they calculate was 200 liters that they suck it a day.
One tree.
Yes, one
Every-
tree
every
before
day.
it's
Every
mature.
day.
Every day before it's mature. I say before it's mature.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. That's why a type of eucalyptus called Melaleuca has basically been an invasive plant in southern Florida. They have thousands and thousands of acres of this wild eucalyptus that grow in and around the edges of the Everglades and so on, because they love that warm climate, and lots of their feet are standing in water. They're doing really well. Now we're looking at a photograph, actually four different photographs, and I want to make one comment here. The pictures of the raw honey still inside the combs, that honey looks a lot lighter. It looks really nice, actually. It looks beautiful. It'd be delicious to dig into.
The middle.
The middle
middle
one
one.
and the one on the right too. Looks like it's kind of an amber, orange, yellow, especially towards the bottom of the photograph where the honey isn't quite sealed or it's dripping or it's open. Now, my question is some of the darkness due to processing?
No.
No. Okay, that's good to know.
Because they only press and then they sieve it. Is what
Okay.
they're doing.
So they're not heating it, cooking it, or anything like that?
No, they don't. cook it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, they don't cook. It depends, like I was saying, from the flower that the bees harvest.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that it becomes darker the more pollen content. So the higher pollen content, the darker it gets. Or is
that's-
just, or I guess the type of pollen.
No, neither.
Neither. So what causes it to be darker?
You can minerals, more minerals than pollen. Obviously, if you have a lot of pollen in the honey, then it's going to look a little murkier and darker. But you can have pure buckwheat honey that's been well strained and have no pollen, virtually none, left in it, and it is black as night. So it is
But where does the pollen? I mean, where does the minerals come from?
from the soil.
Oh,
And the way the plant differentially uses different minerals, because next year you can plant soybeans in the same soil that you had buckwheat in, and the soybean honey is much lighter because there are fewer minerals taken up.
so the nectar is already dark.
The nectar is already dark. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I want us to move on a little bit more now. This will be our last picture from Cameroon. And what we're looking at now is a gentleman who is holding some beeswax in one photograph. And in the other one, he's got some other contraptions that Patrick's going to have to explain. And behind him, it looks like it's a wax press. And is that the press that would be used to get the honey out?
Yes, it's the press that we use. Yeah.
Okay.
In that press, you saw in the previous picture the honeycomb.
Yes.
When you bring that into that press, you cut it. You cut it in
Smaller pieces.
and then you put with that press is manual. as you are turning that,
Yes.
it's pressing the honey,
It's squishing it.
it's squeezing that, and then if you see the back, you're going to see the sieve.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That purple thing?
Yes, the
It's
purple,
kind
yes.
of a filter.
Yes, it's a filter.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he used that. I think he used 2 filters. The first one is with a big size, and then the second one is
Smaller, yeah.
smaller, and is what they're doing after they extract the press and then they filter the honey. What is left, the comb, they wash it. They put water,
Really?
wash that,
Wow.
and then get the water to make meat. And then the wax which is left, they use that to make that.
Oh, I love it. I
Well,
love it.
that-
So the system is to chop up the comb honey, put it into the press,
Yeah.
squeeze out as much good honey as you can,
Yeah.
and then there's always some honey mixed in with the wax. So you wash that and you make mead,
Mead.
which is a honey wine,
Yes.
and then you have the wax left. And do they melt that wax?
They
then?
melt it, they
Mhm.
cook it, and then they melt just to get that
The wax part.
Wax, highlight.
Yeah. Now, what the guy
What
is
honey?
holding,
That's so smart.
he's holding something other than in
It's
the.
a propolis.
That's propolis.
Yes, it's propolis. He's the first one in terms of harvesting and propolis production. With the hive that he did, I don't know, he has a trick to make wax. This small guy, with one hive, was able to harvest at least it was 1.5 kilograms of propolis in one hive. Don't ask me how he did that, but
And what does he do with the propolis?
he's conditioning that in that stuff and selling that
Medicine.
to the
He makes it
pharmacists.
into medicine. Oh, he sells it as a wholesale.
Yes, wholesale.
Raw. Sorry, he sells
Not
it raw.
whole.
Okay.
When he has propolis, I don't know the process to to make it liquid.
Okay.
He make it, and then the government control also that.
Mm.
Yes, they send someone to come and control and check,
Mhm.
and then he can sell it at the pharmacies, at the hospital, all that stuff.
Wow.
Yes.
It's
Those are
way, way, way better than Manuka honey for stopping infections. For they even in Brazil they did some scientifically peer-reviewed work using propolis to stop severe cases of COVID by making a tincture that people would take internally. So propolis has some really powerful health benefits. I'm really not one to promote different kinds of
But most of
medicines
the-
and so on, but propolis is
It's
one.
very, very good. But I'm going to say, for those who have diabetes and then they were wounded,
Yeah.
back to Cameroon, and then the wound did not heal itself. We used to use propolis to heal that wound.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I believe it.
Yeah,
I
we
believe
used to
it.
use propolis to heal that wound for those who has diabetes type 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so when a diabetic person gets a wound, you'll use propolis, or so? What do you mean by?
Because the wound, the diabetic wound, if you are, but this is because my father was diabetic, okay, and when he has wound, that wound did not heal faster like
That's correct.
Yes,
Mhm.
my wound
Yeah.
healed itself. And at some point, we found that by putting a propolis on that, the wound healed.
The
almost
same
a-
rate.
Yes,
Absolutely,
kind of. Yes.
absolutely. That's gospel. I believe it and I agree.
Is these things good for diabetics?
No,
No?
no.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't hurt them, but it doesn't do anything for it. I want to move on though because it's obvious you love Cameroon. You grew up there.
I grew up there.
Do you know the basketball player Joel?
I forgot.
He's from Cameroon.
Yes.
He's going to play in the Olympics for the Americans. I just heard an interview with him on the way over here,
Oh.
and the interview was he's lived most of his life, his adult life, inside the United States. But the French President Macron had called him up and said, since you're from Cameroon, you would be able to play on the French basketball team. and he laughed just like that.
Yes,
he laughed because he said, he has no hard feelings about colonization, but he said, we're no longer a colony of France. And he does have French citizenship along with Cameroon and American citizenship, but he chose to play basketball in the Olympics, which is coming up, now, and he wanted to play for the Americans and not for the French. Anyway, now you're in Canada. And you're like as far away geographically, like you're not next to an ocean, you're on the high prairies, very long winters. How are you enjoying winters here, by the way?
Oh, now I love the winter, but my first 3 years of winter was kind of hard because I came from, I'm going to say, a hottest place, 42 degree under the shade and 45 degree out to 50 degrees Celsius.
50 degrees Celsius. Oh,
It was hard. I love at that time when I landed here the summer than the winter, but now I love winter than summer.
Really? That's nice. No, I don't love winter, but anyhow, I put up a map to kind of show where we are for all of our audience. We're in Calgary, and specifically we are in Western Canada, north of Montana, near the Rocky Mountains, in the city of Calgary, which has about 1.5 million people, and we are on inside of a studio that's on the Mount Royal University campus. That's right. And that's where we're talking to Patrick today. Bidzina and I are talking. So Patrick, you have been involved in Canadian beekeeping for the last few years.
Yes, I've been involved in Canadian beekeeper. This is my 3rd year involved in Canadian beekeeper. First of all, I involved myself.
We have about 10 more minutes.
Yes.
Oh, it's fine. Okay, I will go faster. Okay, in 2022, when I was working gardening at the Land of Dream, which is a project of CCIS, Calgary Catholic Immigration Society, I found our neighbor, his name is Dean, was doing beekeeping and gardening. And then in that summer, 2022, I went to him and said, please, I would like to volunteer in your apiary while you teach me how to beekeeping in Canada. And then I worked the whole summer. And after that, I said, yes, I master the beekeeping, but I say I prefer to get a certificate. And it's where I came. I encountered Rod.
Yeah, you were in my class, and I really appreciated you. You're a very keen student, and you already knew quite a lot about bees.
Was this 2022?
No, now it was in 2023.
Yeah, it was just last year in the spring.
Last year. And then I did a training with him, and in the picture, and in 2023, Dean, my mentor, he left me his nuke apiary. And over there, I produce honey in one hive because I told him I would like to learn how to produce honey in Canada and do, I'm going to say, crazy thing. He said, okay, you can do it. I produced honey in one hive, and I got 105 kilograms of honey after extraction, clove honey. That we are
from one hive?
Yes, from one hive.
Beautiful white clover honey. And by the way, I have some of your honey right here today.
Should we try it?
We should try it.
We should try. And as you are seeing the pictures here.
And this honey, so this is a jar of honey, and I can hold this honey. It is so light that it floats. It's crystallized, as all of our good honey is here. But it's beautiful honey. I have some spoons around here.
Yeah, people will think this is fake honey.
No, we have to get into it then. Let's.
But this is raw honey. Doesn't get better than this.
So this was produced from your bees?
Yes, from my bees.
Not from the Catholic Immigration Society?
No, I was involved with the Catholic Bee Society bee this year because after the work that I did last year, because I produced honey and then I did Queen Yuri with Dean. He taught me how to do queen rearing, and he was happy.
Okay, let's move ahead then because we are low on time, and I don't want to miss the idea of the queen breeding. So you learned queen breeding here in Calgary.
In Calgary, yes. And as you are seeing me in the picture there, is his apiary there.
Okay.
Those queen cells are in his apiary at the land of dream, and you can see what I got. Yes, the first result was not good, but as I was moving
on 3, everybody, we're
it
gonna.
smells really. It has a really nice smell.
It smells great. It smells so good. So this is clover.
Yeah, this is clove.
It's almost like a cinnamon apple.
Oh yes. It looks like we put cinnamon.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
You know, it gives it tastes exactly like the honey from Georgia. Well, not exactly like it, but it tastes very similar, and the color is different.
The country of Georgia.
The country of Georgia, yeah.
So you produce white honey there?
No, it's more amber.
This
and
is
dark.
good honey.
Oh, thank you so much.
This
Thank
is
you.
good.
I
No,
wanna say
literally
it's an honor for me to try it with you, because I gave you that when I was
you
just
gave me this honey. It's
last
Canadian
year.
honey, not from Cameroon.
Yeah.
It's very different from the eucalyptus honey that you would have produced, or you might someday produce again in Cameroon.
Yeah.
This is water white Canadian honey, and is
So how would
delicious.
you compare the flavor to this to your honey in Cameroon?
I prefer not to compare the flavor, because Canadian honey is Canadian honey, Cameroonian honey is Canadian, because over the Cameroon, the flavor is strong. When you take it, you're going to feel it. And depending on the type of honey, some you have a bitter, you're going to feel, going to be a kind of bitter at the end.
Right.
Yeah. And it's sweet, very, very sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be really interesting. Someday you're going to have your sister send us some honey, and you'll be back here with it, and we'll try it from Cameroon.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I want to look at these pictures here and talk a little bit about queen breeding here in Calgary. So this looks good. You were raising queens because
I was raising queens because we want to make our bees sustainable. Like, the purpose is we don't want to buy bees anymore in the future. And it's the project that we started last year. Okay, we are raising the queen to make the split, to increase the hive. Last year I worked with 3 hive myself. This year I extended to 12 hive. But overall, I'm working maybe 100 hive this year.
wow,
24 hive with Land of Dream, the CCIS project. I myself with 12 production hive and 6 to 8 nukes where I can go and still brood, carpet brood, to strengthen my production hive, all that stuff. And now with my mentor, he has 80 colony of hive.
80 colonies of bees. Okay.
Of bees. And
Is that Dean, the
yes,
person you
Dean,
mentioned?
yes.
Yeah.
And then 30 honey production hive.
That's within the city?
Yes.
You're doing in the city?
Let's say, yes, in the city in the southeast
Wow.
area.
And like, what's your max beehive to 1 yard?
The maximum in 1 yard is 8. It's gonna be might be 70 something. I mixed that hive with nukes.
1 yard, you have 70 beehives?
Yeah, in one.
Whoa. And that's in the city? Who's like, what do you mean? Like,
When I
is
say
like,
it's at the border, is that area is agricultural area.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Even
see,
if
okay.
it's in
But it's
Calgary.
close to, it's like 15-minute drive out of the
Yeah.
border. Or like, no, you're in.
Depending on where I'm living, I'm driving 25 minutes to there. It's in industrial area, but
That's
that
really-
area
that's-
is for agriculture, because the CCI project have 30 acre over there for gardening, and it's in that area.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That's something. So you're training people to keep bees, and these tend to be immigrants from anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world. Okay, and this year, I think you train some of them. I trained 14 people, and then I create a bee club. The purpose for that bee club was to bring more people, in the beekeeping, so that we can get a family over there. And my purpose at the end was to give them next spring at least a nukes.
Yes.
But guess what? They got the training, but none of them are involved. I'm sorry for that, but what can I do?
Well, that's an important lesson. I think not everybody should keep bees. Like, seriously, you need to try it. Yeah, you need to see whether or not, if that's been an interest. I mean, not everybody needs to try it. Yeah. But if it's something you thought, well, I'd like to keep bees, and then you get into it and you realize how much money it costs and that you get stung and this and that.
Yeah, a lot of people find out they're allergic. Well, not allergic, but they swell.
No, allergic to the hard work. Yeah. I've seen people who are allergic to the hard work of lifting up those honey boxes.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. These queen cells look nice. You were raising queen bees here, and the brood pattern, to me, that's the story. So we're looking at photographs of queen cells and you, Patrick, holding some queen
cell in the cage.
Some queen cells in the cage. Thank you.
Yeah.
And the results are a couple of pictures of beautiful, beautiful brood. So as we close up here, this is a photograph of your
honey in the jar.
No, and why is that not beautiful and white like this delicious honey we just tried? Like the honey you gave me last year that we just tried. It is to die for. I mean, this is really, really good quality honey.
Thank you so much. But the honey that you have is crystallized, but that one was not crystallized.
Yeah.
It was the time that I just harvest, and then I put them in the jar. It's the same honey that you have, because this is the same bath.
That's going to turn white too?
Yeah, this now is white.
Okay.
I think what is left is 10.
You got rid of the rest?
No, I say yes. I have at home now only 10 jars.
Wow.
Of what was produced
You
last
ate
year.
all the rest.
I sold.
You sold some honey.
I made meat with some.
Okay.
Yeah, I share a lot. Yeah, I consume some.
Oh, yeah. I would consume this honey any day. This is delicious. Yeah. So we're going to wrap up here. And, I feel like we could talk more and more. There's so much that I learned today, and I really enjoyed talking to you and hearing your story. And your work with the Immigrant Society and I know that you're involved in other cultural projects in the city too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I say, another hat that I have, I'm the General Secretary of the Cameroonian Canadian Association in Calgary.
Wow.
And I've been putting a lot of program with them, like the recent one that we put, I don't want to say because I was the one who thought about the idea, and I worked with our project manager to put in place the newcomer program, who the mission is speak with Cameroonian who are still in Cameroon, and then they have the PR to land in Calgary or in Alberta. We talk to them, we go to the airport, we pick them, we find a place to settle them, and then we help them in interview, mocking interview, all that
practice,
stuff.
So they can get a job. Yeah.
That's what we are doing.
And they're all becoming beekeepers.
No. I wrote a grant for the association, but we didn't have time to submit it, okay? But I trained, I think maybe 5 or 6 people. They have their certificate in the association. I hope that they are going to be beekeeper.
Well,
because
they don't have
doing,
to. They don't have to be beekeepers.
Look, we have many small Cameroonian associations there, but I am advocating beekeeper into the association because I don't want one person to involve, but if the association is involved, for me, it's better.
Right. Maybe they can keep a bumblebee nest.
Oh, maybe. Who knows?
It's kind of like
This has been great. This has been really, really great. We really appreciate the audience that we're building out there. Folks, we're going to have show notes and some links and more information online to go along with our discussions today.
Yes.
Patrick, this has been wonderful. Thank you for coming in. And Bidzina, I'm gonna wrap up, and you want to say goodbye?
Yes, thank you, Patrick, for being on one of our longest episodes so far, and I hope you can be you'll come back.
Yeah, I want to say thank you so much for the honor to speak with Ron. I was not sure when he told me that, Patrick, okay, can you come? I just run. Okay, I will be back if you need me.
Well, let's do a
love
2 hour.
We would love that.
Yeah.
We will certainly have you back. Meanwhile, folks, thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Yes, thank you.